So my name is Bill Chambers. I'm the CEO at Starboard Storage, and we've got our whole team here today. And I'm the obligatory guy who's going to pop up a few slides that you don't want to see, but I'll run through them quickly. But really just wanted to set a stage for you and kind of get this interactive because I love this kind of forum, and I think it's a great way to get the message out about the company and the technology. If we go to the next slide, just talk a little bit about the agenda. I'm going to basically frame it up and just tell you who Starboard Storage is in a couple of minutes. Just spend a couple of minutes around that, let you know who we are, what we're doing, and what our strategy is. Tom Major is also here. Tom's our president. Tom is going to talk to you, give you the product overview, and then you'll get a full demonstration of the product from Chris Alimo, who's our VP of Engineering. So Chris is here as well, give you an overview of that. And then we're going to get into a real technical deep dive that talks about, we'll be talking all along the way of what's the value, what's the benefit we bring to customers today, what's our vision for that, and how do we do it? Kirill's going to get into the details for you of how we do that and what makes us so unique and compelling, we think, for our customers that we have today. So appreciate this chance. We really appreciate all of you guys coming in to spend the time and the attention. We hope to make it informative to you, so let us know how we're going. If you've got questions along the way, don't hesitate. So let's just dive in, just at a very high level to let you know who we are and what we're doing. We're really an innovator in hybrid storage solutions. We've taken an approach to a unified approach, a very ground-up approach in our solution, and we launched our business last year in February of 2012. We've been working prior to that in a stealth mode, working on our product, getting it ready for the marketplace. And we've had a really good year in 2012, and we're off to a really good start in 2013 as well. Very excited about where the business is. And so I would characterize this by saying, what's the business? So we're really the unified storage solution that's really been designed from the ground up, you know, to capitalize on the next generation of flash and SSD technology. So the advantage we've had is we've started with a blank sheet of paper. We've got a lot of really smart guys with very strong backgrounds. You're going to get a chance to interact with some of them today. And that's given us a tremendous advantage to really have that clean sheet of paper and start from that perspective. Let's go on to the next slide. This one I wanted to show you, just to give you a little bit of a kind of the timeline of where we've come from and what we've done. As I mentioned, we started our development back in early 2010 was when we really started working on the product and taking that clean sheet approach. We launched it in February of last year, and then we've had a number of awards and a number of introductions, and we've actually done very well as far as traction. We have some customers that are very large in using our system. We have today about 3 petabytes total under storage, handling about 4,000 Active Directory users at one particular site. And what's interesting about what we do, because we've taken a unified approach, what we see is the pain point for the customer, and this is based on a lot of our backgrounds and mine in particular from our days at Left Hand Networks and pioneering the iSCSI SAN segment of the market. You guys were just over to see co-founder John Spires at NextGen. John and I started that business back years ago. And one of the things that I learned in doing that is that customers would talk to us, they say, love what you guys have built from an iSCSI block perspective. But what can I do about the rest of my data? What about my file data, and how do I handle that? And then the other thing that we heard is for many customers was around Fiber Channel 2. Many customers have an existing investment in Fiber Channel, and they want to be able to leverage that as well. They don't want to, throw that away. And so we've really focused, and you can see here, I think it's kind of interesting when you look at that. We have 25% of our customers today that are using Fiber Channel. 70% of them are using NAS on the file side of our solution. We've got 90% of them that are using block. And I think that really speaks very clearly to what we've tried to do. And so we're unique in that perspective, and you'll see as we get into the technology that we've developed our own IP. We've got a lot of rich intellectual property with patents filed, but that's really the value we bring. And the way I would characterize this for you is how to think about it strategically and where do we see the play. It's much like I see storage right now, especially for the mid-market, much like we had in the first generation or the first wave of consolidation when we started with virtualization, where customers actually started when VMware came onto the scene and we were consolidating from 10 servers down to 1 and giving the customer all of the cost advantages, the better efficiencies, the higher utilization rates. That's where we see the same value for customers in going with our unified hybrid approach. Because what this allows them to do is to consolidate all of their different storage onto one solution and to manage it very simply and easily from one pane of glass. Okay? So that's really strategically what we're trying to do. Let's go on to the next slide. So this is, as I said, kind of setting the stage. What makes us different? We address a much larger part of the market, which gives us a broader access point. What we find is that there are different pain points for customers where we go in. Customer might have, a real challenge around their NAS environment, and so we may enter into an account from a NAS perspective, but shortly, once we're in there, what we find is that they then would add onto the block level side of this. On the flip side might be the case, customer might be doing a virtualization project, and so they might be rolling out, they might want it for the iSCSI block side of things as an example, but then quickly start to migrate over and consolidate the rest of their data from a file perspective on that as well. And so that gives us a much broader sense, broader play in the market. And I think from the customer's perspective, a lot more value. Because the thing that we've heard as we've talked to customers has been around the challenge they have of managing 2 or 3 different types of storage systems in their environment where they've got different user interfaces, different parts, and all the management on it. And what we've heard, and what I've heard in particular as I've talked to customers, has been the risk they run as far as human error and operator error in that situation. Because in the mid-market, you don't have specialists. As you guys know, you've got generalists. And these guys have to do everything from keeping the phones running, the security system, the servers, everything. And they're not in all these systems every day. So when they've got to go back and expand a volume, sometimes it is ripe for operator error to push the wrong button and maybe not lose data, but have an outage of data. And then that causes problems for them. So Tom and Kirill and Chris are going to get into the innovation that we've done around the SSD acceleration and a lot of our key intellectual property around our dynamic storage pooling. This is where a lot of our key intellectual property is, along with our caching algorithms. But what we've done and what we've been able to leverage because of the development timeframe we've had with the product is we've got a very robust feature set, and you'll see that in the demo as well that's coming up that Chris will do. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. And then one last point. You guys all know this. I'm the guy who got up here to put up the market slides that you all know. But this one I thought was particularly interesting as far as the prediction, and it goes back to that validation that we are seeing, that when you look here, NAS is still a very big and a growing part of the market. And this is the one that may surprise everybody, is fiber channel. Because for a long time, we purported at Left Hand Networks that fiber channel was going to go away, and over time it would. But this is showing and validating that that's not actually happening, and it's actually growing. So in addition, iSCSI is still growing very rapidly, but it speaks, I think, volumes to what we're really trying to do for the customers and what we're bringing to the customers for a comprehensive solution to allow them really to look at a consolidation play, if you will.
Just wish that was in ports, not terabytes.
Yeah, that would be, Howard, that would be a really interesting way to look at it. You're right. Look at it in ports.
As the size of the average disk drive reaches 2015, 10 or 15 terabytes.
Yeah.
How many terabytes are on fiber channels? A lot. How many ports is that? Well, not many, because that's a symmetrics with 1,200 10-terabyte drives on it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it'd be a great way to slice the data and to look at that. So let me show you, just wrap up here with a slide of what we're doing strategically, what we're doing. So we've built a very innovative product to the market, and that's what we're really focused on right now. So with our strategic announcements and a lot of what we've been talking about, we're focusing our resources right now on enhancing and extending the technology that we have. We really have something that's very powerful. We're very excited about that, and we're very well focused on mid-size enterprise customers. Where we see the opportunity here is really in speed to market. And so strategically for us, do we take the path of continuing to build out a distribution channel, or do we look for a partnership that allows us to get into the market with the product that we've built in a much faster and a more rapid way? We believe that taking that strategic approach gives us the opportunity to potentially leapfrog past some of the other competitors there and allows us to take our investment and focus it in on the product side of things. So it gives us the chance to partner from a go-to-market perspective, from a speed perspective, and really focusing in. And I will touch on, and we'll get into this, but this is a proven product. We've got lots and lots of customers that are using this today. We've had a great response from the customers, and the thing that really I appreciate from our customer base is they're very loyal. Once we get in, they just come back and continue to add to that and move forward. Okay, so without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Tom Major, who's going to take you through the product and give you an overview on that. But again, I really want to say I appreciate your time, appreciate you guys coming in and all of your interest and attention. So thank you very much.